Hello everyone, this is George from the Data Phantom, and today we're going to take a look at how to create a sunburst using PHP. So we're going to use PHP to create the sunburst, and we're going to create a vector graphic and SVG graphic for the sunburst that we could use in any vector graphic software such as Inkscape, Adobe Illustrator, and I'm going to show you how to use it in Fireworks if you have Fireworks. So this is what we're going to be creating. That's what you're going to learn how to create, and that's going to be completely created in PHP. Although this graphic is not going to be created in PHP, what's going to be created in PHP is the sunburst. It's going to generate the number of rays you want automatically by passing it to the command line. Another thing we're going to learn is how to use PHP with the command line to make applications that work with external applications. So let's get started. First, let's give a thank to our sponsor, namecurious.com. At namecurious.com, you can buy your domain names, hosting, email services, and much more for a very low price. So let's get started. Alright, so now we have this folder here, and this is the folder where we're going to create the PHP file. We're going to create a new file, new text document, and we're going to rename it vector, actually let's name it sunburst.php. It's gonna be better. Yes, I want to rename it. Alright, so now it's gonna edit this with Notepad++, and here we have Notepad++. There you go, up and ready to go. Let's close this, we don't need that, and let's close this, we don't need that for now. Alright, so let's open the PHP tag, PHP, and we're gonna use the command line. We're gonna check if the arguments or the number of arguments is right. So if argc is less than 4, then we echo, actually terminate the script, we don't execute anything else. We print out the new line character and we say number of arguments is wrong, and then we terminate that. And basically we check that the number of arguments it's 4. It's 4. At least it's 4. And the reason it's 4 it's because it also takes the name of the file. So now let's declare some variables. File. So this will be vector file equals argv with the first argument. Actually second argument. I'm going to explain to you what this means later. argv2 and radius. Alright, so what this is this is going to be the destination file that you want to save the vector sunburst to. The number of sides that you want the sunburst to have, actually the number of rays you want the sunburst to have, and this is going to be the radius, the distance between center and one of the edges of the sunburst. And the reason we're using this argv array, it's a PHP variable. It's declared by PHP, so you don't have to declare it. It's the command line argument. So if you have experience with any C programs, you know that you have an argc passed to the main function, and you have the argv array passed to the second parameter of the function. And this is because argc contains the number of parameters passed to the script, and the argv contains the values of those arguments. And the thing is, we're using 4 and we're using less than 4 because the first argument, so array index 0, is going to be the name of this file. So it will show sunburst.php. Alright, so with that, let's get into the nitty-gritty things of the project. So let's do a check if is numeric sides. So this negation sign at the beginning is if it's not numeric, the sides and radius. We're gonna exit again, and we're gonna show number of sides, and radius has to be a numeric value. Alright, so those are just general messages that would help you debug your program. And now we're going to do something really interesting. So the way we're going to do this, we declare a variable points. And this points variable, for my case, you can play around with this and see what best fits your needs. But I'm going to put side time 5. So what this is going to do is basically the number of rays you're going to pass, it's going to duplicate, it's going to multiply that times 5. So we're going to create a polygon, a regular polygon. So it's going to have that the number of sides that you pass times 5. And let me show you where we're going to do this. So we declare the points, and then we're going to want to find the angle. And if you want to see something more about this, check my other tutorial. I think it's for After Effects, that would create a standard polygon that would draw a regular polygon in After Effects. And I think I explained that a little bit more. So basically we're going to do 360 divided by the number of points, and that's going to give us the angle, specific angle for each side that we're going to create for each point. And now we're going to declare this variable and instantiate it coordinates. And the reason we're going to create this is because we're going to go in a loop now. Alright, for loop, and we're going to declare I. You can declare anything you want. I less than points. Go. And let's increase the counter of I. And now we're going to create something really good in here. So let's declare IX. Anything. You can declare anything you want. By the way, this source code is going to be on GitHub also, the GitHub Phantom repository. So you can download it as soon as you watch this video. It's going to be up. Alright, so let's play that. So I'm just trying to do this as fast as I can. And now we're gonna do red. And we're also gonna do that for here because we're gonna need it. Angle. Alright, times angle. Now, don't worry about it. I'm gonna explain to you what this means in a little bit. Roughly what that means. Alright, so that should work pretty good. And the reason I'm doing this so fast is because I already did this on previous tutorials for the polygon in After Effects. So I really know what to do. And now we're gonna do y equals radius plus ix. Actually, that's not y, that's x. And we didn't duplicate that, and that's y. If you want to learn more about this, just shoot me an email. Emails are at info@digitalphantom.net. So you shoot me an email there, and I would gladly answer you, or leave a comment on this video, or send me a message via Twitter. By the way, subscribe to the Twitter account for Digital Phantom. We only have 5 followers, so should really get more of those. Now let's do something else. So now remember that 5 that I talked about here on top? We're gonna multiply that times 5. Alright, so now let's do an if statement. And now we're gonna check. So if the ith element that we're in, and the modulo 5 equals 0, so that means that we're the 5th element, or the 0th element. So any multiple of 5 or 0 is going to evaluate to that. And now we're going to do x equals radius. Actually, y, x and y equals radius. So x equals y and y equals radius. So that's pretty cool. And now let's do, remember the variable that we declared before? Coordinates. So it's the same. And remember to do the append operator, so that equals, and now we're going to do x comma y. Let's just do these curly braces to be safe, and space. Actually, we don't need space between the commas. So x comma y and then space. And the reason, just follow my instructions and you'll be fine. Reason we're doing this is because that's the format required for the SVG file to be created. So now we do something really good here. So file handle equals fopen. So we're gonna save the file now, and this file is going to be vector file, the one that we clear on top right here. Now you pass the script, and now the mode is going to be write plus. So if it doesn't exist, create it, and if it exists, just write from the beginning. So basically overwrite the file. So now we check if the file was successfully open. So if file handle, so keep mixing those two letters. So if that was successfully open, then we do whatever we want. Else we exit the script. Although at that point we really don't need to exit. But anyways, exit the new line character and paired file could not be opened or created. Alright, so that shows the user some really nice details about what's going on. And now if we are successfully in the file, if we successfully could create the file or open the file, then we start writing to the file. Fwrite, file write. What's going on with me and misspellings? File handle, there you go, wrote it right now. Great. Now we're gonna open the first SVG tag. So for those of you who don't know, SVG is based on XML and S, it's namespace. And now we do escape and we do the quotes because we're using quotes here. If we use single quotes, then we're fine, but let's just do this HTTP and then www.w3.org 2000 SVG. That looks good. Version equals escape characters quotes 1.1. That looks good. Now that looks good for rare. We duplicate this line, then we close the SVG tag. We remove all that, and that we duplicate that line also to save us time while writing that. We close this. We don't really need to do that. We eliminate that, and then we're gonna create a polygon. And then the points of the polygon are going to be the coordinates that we set up before. So point equals escape quotes. And then let's make sure to close the polygon right there. So we don't need to worry about that anymore. And now we're going to exit those. So double quotes, append operators, and then we're going to trim coordinates. The reason we're going to trim is because every time we do a coordinate, we append one space at the end, and we don't really want space at the end, so that's going to remove any blank spaces from the end or the beginning. So that's helpful. Now the other thing that we're missing is we're missing the style for the polygon. That's basically going to give us the colors. So the background color is going to be black. Doesn't matter. Black is pretty good. And remember to close the file. File close. And file handle. See, again, type it wrong. Handle. And let's print the message to the user. So let's do exit now. We don't want to complicate our lives. and new line and character. I have capitals, caps lock. So your vector, there we go, nice. See what I'm talking about? Your vector file, and then we're gonna give the user the name of the vector file, escape, and now we're gonna do argv. Is that argv, Ryan? Let me see. Yeah, that's correct. So something strange in there. So 0, not 0. Actually, we don't need argv because we actually named that. So that's vector file, actually without the underscore, sunburst width. Now you're gonna see this. Sides raise was created. Alright, so that should be pretty much done. And alright, so let me explain you this. What this does is it basically calculates the position based on the angle of the current point in the circle. It's going around the circle like a 360 degree rotation, and it's calculating the x and y position of that point. And this point is, if it's the fifth coordinate, then put it to the center, because the sunburst has the edges on the top and the points that go in the middle, in the center. And basically, the width of the poly of the sunburst is going to be twice the radius, or the diameter. So the width is going to be the diameter, which is twice the radius. Right, so that should be pretty good to go, and let's test it. But before, let's give a word out to our sponsor, NameCurious. At NameCurious, you can get your domain name and your hosting and your email services and your SSL certificates and much more. If you already own a domain, transfer it to NameCurious and you will get an additional year of your registration. Get a free domain if you buy a hosting or buy a shopping cart with NameCurious. You can get .com's domain names at $9.99 per year. So that's a pretty good deal. And remember, NameCurious is sponsoring us, so you would give us more opportunity to make more tutorials and everything. So definitely check it out, namecurious.com. Alright, so let's get back to our tutorial and test out this this function that we just created. So now this is the directory you're working on, and as you can see, I opened the command line in the same directory. So now let's check it out. We're gonna run PHP, name of the actual PHP file, sunburst.php, and let's pass it like that. It's gonna give us the first error that we showed. There you go. Something else is going on here. It says that on line 23. Oh yeah, there you go. We had this space between the $sign and the I, so that's an error there. So now let's do the same thing again. So number of arguments is wrong. Alright, that's good. It would be nice if we can give them more details, but that's fine. You can work that yourself. And now let's create a file, SVG, vector.svg. That's the name of the vector file that we want to save. And then we're going to pass the number of rays that we want to have. So let's do 10 rays, and let's do 300 pixels, the radius. Let's create that point. There's something wrong in there. As you can see, the vector file was created, but it gives us the error of point on line 23. Oh, of course it's not point, it's points. There you go. And let's do the file again, because that's probably what generated it. It's not good. So let's do that again. And there you go. Vector file vector.svg sunburst with 10 rays was created. So now that's wonderful. So now let's open Adobe Illustrator and let's do open. And there we go, we have the vector there, open. And what's this? It doesn't seem to be working, right? Of course not. So let's see what's happened here. Oh, got it. Right here where you see sine, this should have been cosine, because we're going around the circle. So the x position will be the sine, and the y position will be the cosine. Alright, so a lot of mistakes in here. Let's create that again. And let's close this. We don't need that. That's wrong. Open, vector, open. There we go. That looks super nice. That looks awesome, actually. Yeah, great. So as you can see, we created it using just PHP, raw PHP, and we're opening the SVG file in Illustrator. So as you can see here, that's what I'm talking about. It has 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, 4 points, and at the 5th point, it goes to the center. So that's the logic I told you, and that's why it's done. So, and as you can see at 0, it's on the middle, and then at 1 it starts, and then at the 5th element, it goes back to the actual center, so we can have the sunburst effect. Otherwise, we just have a standard polygon, regular polygon. And now let's take this out, edit, copy, and let's come into Fireworks. There you go. Looks pretty nice in there. And as you can see, I have the other one that I created there in the background. So I'm just going to replace it. I'm going to remove this. Alright, so I'm going to remove this, and this. Remove that. Don't need that. And let's place this here. There we go. We placed it from Illustrator, and then we're going to increase the size. Pretty nice right there. And let's increase the opacity to see what effect it applies. So 5. Alright, so it looks pretty nice. So go ahead, apply this technique to your programs, and you have there a very useful tool that will help you out if you're doing a lot of sunburst effects. And it's cool to apply your math skills and create something cool. And actually, it's a vector file that you can create it, scale it up, scale it down, and it's actually really useful. So go ahead and go to my YouTube channel, dataphantom.com/dataphantomfx, and click the subscribe button. It really helps us a lot. And also make sure you go to twitter.com/dataphantom and you follow us. We only have 5 followers, and there you can get the latest updates about the newest tutorials, and you can get instant updates. So there you go. Go ahead and support us on Twitter and especially on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel, like the videos even if you hate them. Subscribe, like the videos, dislike the videos, share it with your friends. See you next time. Had a great time with this tutorial. Bye bye.